Just want to give you a market briefing on the things I'm observing in the executive board search market, and what I'm hearing from my senior executive clients and candidates. It is a very challenging market. There is no doubt about it. There's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of uncertainty, so there's no doubt we're living in the VUCA world. We're seeing it play out in real time. A lot of corporate restructures, a lot of redundancies, insolvencies at an all-time high, company liquidations. Every day you open the press and you see another business across all industries going to the wall. I am aware of many very large ASX listed entities that are on life support. So there are challenges at the top end of town and there's challenges at the bottom end of the town. And it has a flow-on effect to the recruitment market. So there's definitely hard times ahead, and I've just done a video on the corporate restructuring and the redundancies that we're seeing. I think between now and Christmas it's going to be extremely difficult. So that absolutely means, from an executive standpoint, you need to not rock the boat. If you've got secure quality employment, this is not the right time to be looking for new employment. You need to really hunker down and try and get through this Christmas New Year period. You need to look at alternative sources of income. You need to have your game plan, your parachute packed. It's absolutely crucial. And a lot of people are going to be caught off guard, in my opinion. So that's one aspect that we have to be really mindful of. Then when we pivot across to the board recruitment market, it is definitely very busy and very active, and we're very fortunate that that part of the market is not being impacted up until now with all the various economic circumstances. In fact, it's actually driving more and more board appointments. There are a lot of boards that are getting the wrong people off the bus. There is definitely a sense of urgency around board recruitment and board search that is taking place in the market, and my Tiger Boards business, which had a sort of a soft launch at the end of last year and now is sort of, we're into our sort of solid eighth month of operation, is absolutely flying, which is fabulous for me, but it's an absolute direct line to the fact that companies are really, really scrambling to put the right people around the boardrooms. They're certainly still looking at technology hires, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence hires. They're definitely looking at HR, who can bring the insights to the table around the future of work, and also deal with IR, unionized type issues. So there's a lot of opportunity for execs who have experience in that human resources, IR type sector, because there's definitely a shift underway where we're seeing more and more of those appointments coming into the boardroom. I think the digital transformation type hire that we saw a lot of last year is petering off a little bit. I think that side of the equation is pretty solid. They've certainly got the right resources where that's concerned, but there's definitely a gap around cybersecurity, technology, and artificial intelligence. So that area, big data, is all still really, really busy. Lots of briefs all across the market, a lot of challenges in the not-for-profit sector. We're seeing a lot of boards grappling with the issue of, should we start to remunerate to retain quality talent? I've seen mass resignations in this space. So a lot of boards have been caught flat-footed. They're seeing multiple people resign because either they've got their own challenges in their own households, or they're too busy and they just can't allocate the time to the not-for-profit sector. And a lot of those larger not-for-profit boards now are bringing in the remuneration, at least minimal remuneration, to attract the right talent and ensure that expenses at a very minimum are being paid, and all of those sorts of things are being brought into alignment. If you're not having that conversation in the not-for-profit sector, you absolutely should, because if you don't, you're going to find that people will drop off your board, or they won't give you the level of commitment that you require, and it'll be quite challenging to go to market to find that talent. A lot of government boards, a lot of government refreshment. In Queensland, we've got an election coming up, so a lot of boards are in a little bit of a holding pattern. I'm aware that there's definitely the signs that at a national level an election is going to be called, and so we're already seeing certain projects go on hold. We're seeing certain decisions be deferred. We had several board recruitment processes go on hold because the election's just around the corner, and I know several key people who are in the moves, and I don't know exactly when it'll be called. No one knows that, but it's certainly not far away. So there'll be, I think, a very quick election campaign. I don't think it'll be a lengthy campaign, but it would not surprise me in the next couple of months if that gets announced. So there's definitely some moves on that front underway, and that also has a big impact on business boards, board recruitment, and so on. So there's definitely some interesting paradigms. There has been a surge in advisory boards. That's one of the great blessings I have, because that's one of my specialties. A lot of opportunity there around advisory boards and putting the A team around businesses. And there's also quite a bit of early stage, high potential companies putting together advisory boards to help guide that business through to a Series A. I'm involved in several of those, and they're quite exciting and a great opportunity to get involved and give back in that sort of entrepreneurial early stage community. So plenty going on, very volatile, as I said, a lot of uncertainty. And, on the flip of that, there's always opportunity. So the companies that are really going to do extremely well at this time are the companies that really have their act together. They're looking at mergers, acquisitions. They're looking at ways to solidify their markets. They're seeing certain players go under. They don't want to make the same mistakes. So there's a lot of really, really challenging board meetings going on. The number one thing I am seeing is a lot of boards are recalibrating around how many board meetings they're having. They're not just doing the set and forget and let's meet 8 times a year. There is a lot more going on. There's a recognition that the market is challenging, and there's a lot more board work happening. So if you're a smart board, you're definitely leveraging the power of your board members, and you're doing the war gaming. You're doing the additional meetings required now before the trouble starts to happen. So there's definitely a lot going on around looking at balance sheets, looking at forward projections, looking at cash flow, looking at lines of credit, looking at banking relationships. Plenty going on, and the smart boards are definitely, you can see that they're really ramped up, and there's a lot more activity going on. So great time to be a board director, very exciting times. Not so great on the executive front, but as I've said in other videos, there's always opportunities for people regardless of the circumstances, if you've got the right attitude and the right business strategy to secure new roles and options in the market.